Gundam Card Game enthusiasts. We're back at Mobile Suit Arena playing some blue-white 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐒. That is right, folks, some 𝐒𝐓𝐾. And this should be our last deck in the GDO4/EBO1 meta as July 24th GDO5 drops. And let me tell you, the first deck we're probably going to be checking out is G Gundam. That is right, G Gundam is getting some support in GDO5. So that is right, G Gundam is officially getting its release into GDO5. So pretty hyped for that 100%. But before we get into the ranked ladder with our blue-white 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐒s, if you guys are looking for a place to play the Gundam Card Game in person, check out Bulldog Community Gaming, LLC in Brownsburg, Indiana, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m., $5 entry. As well, you can check down in the description below for Bulldog's Twitch and Facebook page, where you can catch the Gundam Card Game action live as it is happening. Once again, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. And without further ado, let's jump into the ladder. Alright, our game has been discovered. We are not deciding who goes first or second. A little sad. I really wanted to go second here, especially because we don't have much of an early game, because we only really will be starting to play around the turn 2, especially if we saw you know, I'll keep this hand. This actually is pretty nice. I mean, this is 2 draws. This is a blocker, but we won't be starting to play the game until at least turn, well, that's the link automatically too, but we won't be starting to play the turn until resource 3. So this is kind of where you want to go second with this type of deck, because of needing to play this out on turn 2. Anyways, my opponent is on white as well, so they are on something white. White purple. Okay. Barbatos Rush, white purple. That's an interesting thing, and that's not typically normal, especially for a Barbatos Rush strategy. Barbatos Rush usually wants to do be played more in blue, because then you get access to like OG Papa Gundam and all of that. But it is a Barbatos Rush strategy. Okay, was not expecting that. Definitely was not expecting the Barbatos Rush strategy. If we see the O-Man, we have the Link pilot now, which is pretty nice. I mean, we got a pretty sculpted out hand here. I mean, we got a couple of blockers of during pair this unit gains repair 2. And all of that, but still, as a reminder, remember, 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐿s are all about repair. That is the main gimmick of our thing, is repair. Now we're going to go with Minerva to then add one. We add a shield, and then we look at the top 2 cards. We put 1 in the trash and put 1 back onto the top of our deck. So Barbatos 4th form. Yeah, okay, so we got an old class person playing some good old Barbatos stuff here. I think we have enough cards right now in hand, and I'm fine just dropping another blocker, dropping a couple of units, and then passing the turn here. Again, this doesn't have a blocker on it, just has repair. Again, we do have the ability to drop this and the Kira next turn, which is pretty nice to bounce something back to hand. But I just want to kind of get a couple blockers standing here. The 𝐒𝐍𝐶𝐘𝐒. Okay, 𝐒𝐍𝐶𝐘𝐒 to ping and damage there, so that he does get the draw 1 off of that. Because again, as long as this is damaged, it does get to draw 1. Then he does get to do, if a unit was damaged, it does get to draw 1, discard 1. Okay, now he's got a Vagan card in here as well. I guess it's just look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Place the top 2 cards of your deck in your trash. If you place the Vagan card, choose one enemy unit, gets minus. We'll block here. Yeah, he gets the free draw, but I think I'm okay. I don't think any of this stuff is Vagan. All this stuff is Turwise or Tekadon, which is what you can do with Gundam. Oh my gosh, it was it's the Barbatos that came out in GDO4 that really wants to play with Tekadon and that stuff. Okay, so we can play this. We're not giving him the pump attack. We're going to bounce the Barbatos back to hand. We're then merely going to swing on my opponent to knock out base. We can give that -2 for the gimmicks. And while, yes, we do lose one of our best blockers, I just kind of want to get a little bit on the aggressive side here. This is something to do with Tekadon, and I am a little afraid of Lupus. There it is. Lupus coming down. So I am a little afraid of that coming down and hitting me in the face, so I would like to be a little more aggressive here. I mean, like I said, we have OG Papa Gundam. If we could see the Amuro, that would be really strong for us as well. I just want to also get the base knocked out. So there's the Adept coming down here. That's going to kill off that blocker and deal damage there. Then they're going to be able to get the Wasabi, and then rest his base, choose 1 damage in a unit. It does get +2 AP for the turn, meaning that this would be an auto kill on my blocker. I may just let the base get killed off here. I'll skip the block. That doesn't kill me, but I guess he has another way to do at least 1 damage to me. That would be the reasoning for that, is that he has to have like a Mikazaki. Yeah, there has to be a Mikazaki in his hand. No. There has to be a Mikazaki. There it is. Yep, there's the Mikazaki. Well, I was right on the Mikazaki. Now remove that. Does get to draw 1. I'm going to skip the block here and just let him have the base. Because I can just swing this into this and kill it. Well, I guess I could have actually killed it there. Now I'm thinking about it. Why? Okay. Well, that was on me because I just totally forgot. Right, that actually was a trade. Because I forgot this only gets an extra +1 to its points. So what are we at? 6? All right, let's draw 2 cards. All right, we can swing 2 damage at my opponent's base. Hit the base for 2. Then we can swing and kill the Adept, or the Barbatos first form. That will be 2 first forms out, a 4th form out of his deck. And then we can drop another blocker onto the battlefield, and then we can end the turn. The O would have been nice to, sooner or later see, the O man. Would it be nice to? Would it be so hard to see the O man? O man. All right. Well, I don't know what is his end game? Is it really just to play the Lupus and then trigger the Lupus's effect? So rebake. 1 and 1. Okay. Then the Adept is probably going to try to kill this. I am going to select to just go for a block here. What would you do with your last 2? Would like Mikazaki to ping 1 more damage? Okay, so draw 2, discard 1. Discard another one of these guys. I still don't get like the mill. there's another Mikazaki. The hilarious part is that that's very close to dying there. Oh, it's hilarious. Another Mikazaki. Okay. We will play yet another command card to draw more cards that I still can't do much with. And then we will play, and we will play, and we will pass. I'm 28 cards into my deck. My opponent has got 25 left. That's 2 Mikazakis. My guess would be this Vegan pilot, just because of its paired effect, is just there to mill. This has to be 100%. They have to be 100% on a Lupus strategy. A Barbatos Lupus strategy where they just want a bunch of Tekadon into their graveyard to then use the... There it is, yep. I was 100% right. They are on the Lupus. So this can banish 3 Tekadon or T-Wise cards and then deal 2 damage to a unit on the battlefield. That is not a once per turn. That is an activate main as long as you are capable of banishing 3. That is another banish. So, I mean, really cool card. I'm glad someone's still playing this out there. I thought this was a really neat card. I thought I was going to push Gundam Barbados into not being so heavy on like the blue and the rush package stuff. But, not horrible, I mean. The problem, though, big problem here is it does restrict you. I mean, he only has, I think this has the Tekadon. He's only got 2 Tekadon trait left. And he knows for a fact I ain't going to swing at him. So, let's see. We're going to play yet our third. Hey, we finally found the O-Man! Okay, the O-Man is here. And again, during pair, when one of your other units with repair attacks, choose one enemy unit whose level is equal to or lower than that unit and rest it. So there's not really a purpose to do much else here because we got 5 left. We could play a 3 and a 2. 3 and a 2. And then we're just going to end the turn. Mainly because there's not much for the O to really do right now. I guess the O can technically rest this and then have done a bunch of swings, but let's just build a little bit of a board here and see what my opponent could do. Haruken. Oh my goodness, a silver bullet! Oh my goodness, another silver bullet! Alright, they're gonna swing. We'll skip the block. I don't mind just letting that happen. We'll activate and burst to hand. And again, as remember, when paired, choose one of the other units. It gains repair 2 for the turn, and then if it's a Jupiter's unit, you do get to draw 1. Alright, we can play the Great O! And then we can play this on the O. We're going to give this repair to draw 1. Only if we had one more freaking resource. I guess we can technically play this because we're probably going to be, let's kill the Lupus? Do we kill the Lupus here? Yeah, I think we kill the Lupus. Level or equal to this unit. Oh, they're selecting a blocker. No blockers were assigned. Doesn't the O trigger? During pair, when one of your... Oh, right, one of your other units with repair attacks, it gets to rest. Forgot, right. Its whole gimmick is that it has to hit something else with repair. When one of your other units with repair swings, it gets to rest, not the O-Man. Right, a blocker was assigned. Who took the block? Okay, Silver Bullet took the block. Alright, we will go to end turn. Which is not bad. The fact is he did that. That does allow me immediately to have the OG Papa Gundam come down and with the armor array trigger to it, which is pretty nice. So I'll have that trigger as well. I still have 3 blockers up. They have 3 blockers. I did get rid of the Lupus. So let's see if they can drop another one, because that is now 3 Tekadon in T-Wise cards. Yeah, it's Tekadon T-Wise is what it can banish. Yeah, T-Wise. So it has the necessary resources again if it wants to drop another Tekadon, another Lupus. Swing at the O-Man. We'll block out with Silver Bullet. Because technically that would be a kill, but I'd rather just block out and take less damage to my hide. Alright, so Lupus coming down. We know he's burnt 2. So he burnt a bunch. He's going to kill off that blocker. We know we only has 2 Mikazakis left, and Mikazaki is the only one that can pilot the Lupus. So, I mean, Well, there's one there. I think he banished one. There's the exile pile. No, he hasn't banished one. So one, and then there's one in the graveyard, which means we still don't know where the other two are yet. So he's going to pump this up by 2. We will select to block that. Meaning that no matter what, if this swings, this has to be the one to kill it. So that will be then a kill there. Yeah, that's perfectly fine with me if he wants to go for that. That's a trade out. The Lupus is still dangerous, don't get me wrong. But I think Amuro can rest anything with 5 or less HP. So, I mean, we could technically rest the Lupus. It's pretty nice. Alright, you also have the ability to bounce a silver bullet back now, thinking about it. So I got 10. Let's play this. We can then match a pilot to it. We can then trigger its effect to bounce that back to hand. We can then do this with Amuro. We can then rest that down. We can then attack this. We can then go play the action to give that -3 AP, so I do not just immediately get murked off in one shot. We knock out the second Lupus off of his battlefield, and then we swing to melee knockout base. And again, we are getting a +1 AP because of the pairing with this. And with that said and done, we do get to repair 2, and that is 2 Lupus out of this deck. Now, 2 Mikazaki out of his deck as well. So my guess would be he's probably maxed out on the Lupus, because that is going to be his ultimate game plan, is to swing with the Lupus and all of that. So Rebake. Again, Rebake does need Akihiro to be its link pilot, so a Mikazaki does not trigger. Rebake again. Picking that now. Then getting the base, but the base is kind of pointless as of right now because it's not going to do much, and then they're going to go for a Gray's Custom. Alright. Not too bad. Let's immediately attack and immediately murk my opponent's base off in one single fell swoop. We're both at 21 cards, by the way, left in deck. So this will kill a Rebake. I will have a health point left. I will heal back 1 health point. We will attack my opponent. This will do 4 damage to their base, so can't do much about that one, but hey, I don't really mind. They can take 4 damage. Leave the base on a health point left. And after that, I'm just going to drop and pass. I could have swung this because technically maybe that would have been better to swing at the base because that wouldn't have died to a Rebake. Gundam Barbados 4th form. This now has +2 AP. This now has a whole lot of AP. It's probably going to kill off this, so I'm fine letting the silver bullet kill it. Because that will be an immediate murk between us, so I'd rather have the silver bullet kill that thing off. Silver bullet, silver bullet. Again, we still have our pilot here, so we are capable of bouncing one of these bullets back to his hand. Unless, of course, we get the O-Man. We can just get another OG Papa Gundam. Alright, Let's start off with an attack with this OG into base. Because again, if he does block out with the silver bullets or even the rebake, it's a trade. So I'm fine with that happening with him going for that. So that kills off that bullet. Let's attack. My guess would be he's just going to take the block here with the bullet. And I may just pass from there, leaving him on, yeah, the suppression guy, but with 4-5, that's enough for this to immediately kill that off. So yeah, he's going to sign the block. That will be the kill there between us. So we will trade out there, and I think I'm fine going into the end turn now. Both my opponent and I are going to be drawing one card each until I find one of my bases to maybe pick up a card from my resources. Well, my opponent, I think that is their third copy of Overflowing Affection. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember how many copies of A Show of Resolve I'm playing. So now we have the Adept. Alright, I think this has to be damaged to get suppression. Yeah, has to be damaged. The weird part is, well, why damage it? Because you know I'm just going to block then at this point, because I'm not going to take the suppression to my face. And why I'm not going to block with my large guy. I mean, we trade there. I guess the problem is you had to take the damage because you need the suppression. Problem is now I'm drawing one, and I'm not sure what left I can really draw. Like, I have an Amuro, I guess, to bring that down, but yeah. The O would be nice to see. I guess during pair. I'm just gonna go pass. I guess I could have put him on there to then allow it to gain the extra +1 AP, but I'm not sure. Well, that's the last of his Overflowing Affection. By my chance, depending on how much more he has left in his deck. Oh my goodness, he has the... Oh, this is going to get painful! He has so many cards he can banish for this. But it's 3 each, so I think he can get a max of maybe 4 damage. Which is probably just going to kill this OG. That's so annoying. He got the Lupus. Yep. Burnt 3. 2 damage there. I have a health point left. I mean, again, he has more than enough. Mikazaki under this. Oh, so he could just immediately kill it off without having to use the Adept's ability. Or the Lupus's ability. So I think Tekadon-wise, and I think it has to be units, or is it just anything with Tekadon? Yeah, no, unit cards. So he can't banish the pilot. So he's got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically he can do it one more time off the Lupus. Well, no blocker. Well, hey, look, there's one of my Overflowing Affections. It would have been nice to have in the hand. Strange you went the Mikazaki under the blocker. You could have had the Mikazaki under the Lupus, and you would have been able to attack with a Lupus. Well, there's a base. You can take that card. The base does nothing, because there's no unit with 3 or less HP left. We could then put this. We could then play a pilot under the OG, pumping everybody up. We could then attack. I survive on a health point left, funny enough. If he decides to take the block here. No blocker was assigned. Interesting. Well, no real point in, I guess 4, yeah, there's no real point in swinging this at all. It doesn't have enough AP to even punch this blocker. Well, me and my opponent are on top deck mode now. The Lupus has one more trigger it can go into, because it has enough units to do one more 2 damage swing. That's pretty much it. So depending on what the heck he drew, because again, it's units. That's also the third Mikazaki. Well, this one's been an interesting one here, folks. 100%. This one has been interesting. I don't even know, like, what does my opponent have left that they can grind into and all that. They're just gonna pass. Okay, well, I mean, we do get to play this and draw 2, discard 1. Honestly, we're gonna discard the other overflowing. I'm pretty sure now we're out of all of our draw engine. So we're going to attack. And we now have 2 blockers up now. Again, there's just not a purpose with singing this guy. No blocker was selected. Okay. Alright, well, I'm just gonna end the turn. Oh, the custom gets the 𝐒𝐍𝐶𝐄𝐒. I think I gave him actually another Tekadon though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's the 6. So now the Lupus does get 2 triggers off of itself, so it can deal 4 damage somewhere. So the 𝐒𝐍𝐶𝐄𝐒 did hit itself. There's 3, 2 there. My guess would be another. It's going to burn the last 3 Tekadon out of its things. Yep. Killing off that off the battlefield. Then the Lupus will attack me. I'll skip blocking. Yeah, it kills the Lupus. Doesn't kill me. Barbatos first form, alright. Guess he's baiting me to attack because then that would then be a block. We'll select a block. This is a pretty good back and forth game of Gundam right now. You know, I don't see many of these games where we just go like back and forth, but then again, we're playing a very like purple white. So now I know what the Vegan leader was, the Vegan unit, Vegan pilots for is just literally to do one thing. The problem if I play this, well, no, I actually can bounce back the Barbatos. I can play the base, take the top card. Amuro Ray! Oh my god, it actually can do it. It actually can do it. Put Amuro under this, trigger Amuro Ray's effect because it has 5 or less health points left on it. Alright, Amuro attack. Oh my god, talk about the top off of the resource. Amuro Ray, the game is mine. Good game, sir. It was a good grindy back and forth game for sure. Congratulations on me getting that win through that grind. Alright folks, that was a great grind game with our blue-white blockers against purple-white Barbatos Lupus. I guess it could just be, yeah, I guess I call it Barbatos Lupus or Lupus Rush or something like that. I'm not completely sure. I guess you'll just have to check out the video when it happens. But nonetheless, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And as a reminder, pinned comment is where you guys can find the deck. And while you guys are down there, do make sure to leave a comment on the gameplay and on the deck. And while you guys are commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you notify when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Modern Dragons TCG.